Hey y'all, it's your Missniecytv and I'm here to do a review for Zatima Season 3, Episode 13. The episode picks up where it left off, and Connie and Fatima visit Jeremiah in the hospital, and this is when Fatima finds out that Jeremiah is alive. And Fatima's like, what the hell? She's like, why is Zach in jail if you're sitting here alive? And Connie's like, that's why I hate the county, they can't get nothing right. Fatima's like, I gotta make some calls. Connie's like, who you calling? Fatima's like, I know some lawyers I got. And then Jeremiah wakes up, moves his neck like it's not broken, and says, Fatima, I'm sorry. Fatima's like, I don't want to hear none of that. Fatima, can I ask you a question? What changed from the time you was talking to him at Melinda's house to now? Are you mad at him because the police thought he was dead and he's not dead? No, Zach is sitting in jail because of it. How do you know that that's his fault? The hospital could have determined him dead. Then Jeremiah goes, Zach was wrong, yo. That nigga was wrong. Connie was like, no, you were wrong. How is Jeremiah wrong and he's the one that got beat up? I take a second to talk about the fact how Bryce was in a whole car accident, got ejected from the car, but has a band-aid on his nose. Mind you, Bryce's airbags deployed on his car. Jeremiah gets beat up to smithereens and gets bruises and a neck. Connie and Fatima go visit Jeremiah. They have a conversation outside the room, and Connie's like, I know you were leaving now. Fatima's like, yeah, I am. Connie's like, so we ain't gonna get him out. Fatima's like, I'm not. He's gonna stay in there one more night. Connie's like, what you mean? Jeremiah's alive now. We can go get him out. Fatima's like, no. I want to teach Zach a lesson and let him know that he was. He's like, so who you calling? Fatima's like, I'm not calling nobody. Then Connie still tries to persuade her about how she needs to get Zach out of jail. And Fatima's not hearing it. Then Connie changes the subject and she's like, I know you're relieved now. So this means it's not done. Fatima's like, yeah, I'm relieved, and I guess it's not all the way done. Over at the precinct, Zach calls Preston, and Zach has this normal conversation with Preston, like, can you go to the house and try to get Fatima to talk? Zach is like, I just want to talk to her and let her know that I'm sorry. Preston's like, didn't you do that already? Zach is like, yeah, but I really want to just talk to her and let her know that I'm sorry and that I realized it. Preston's like, okay, I'll do that. It'll be about 30 minutes, though. Zach is like, okay, I'll call you in 30 minutes. Mind you, Bryce is in the car with Preston because Bryce came up to the precinct and Zach doesn't even know that he was there. Bryce says something like, well, I want Fatima to forgive him, and Preston's like, you don't know nothing about love. Bryce is like, actually, I do. Then Bryce starts going into the whole story about Angela, but he don't really want to say nothing. Then Preston's like, well, I get that you want to say nothing, so it's okay. Then Bryce is like, so when you going over to Zach's house? He's like, after I drop you off at home. Bryce is like, you could actually drop me off at Angela's. Then Preston's like, oh yeah, I think we met. She's a really nice girl. And then Bryce is like, yeah, she is. Back over at Zach and Fatima's, Connie and Fatima make it from the hospital, and this is when Dr. Reed pulls up because he said he was pulling up at 7. So Connie was like, who that man? Fatima's like, that's Zach's therapist. Connie's like, oh, okay. Connie don't believe a word she's saying, but that's really Zach's therapist. And Connie's probably thinking that Fatima couldn't wait for Zach to go to jail so that she could get a new man. Dr. Reed speaks to Connie, and Connie's like, hey, y'all have a good night. I hope my car starts. Fatima's like, yeah, me too. So Fatima and Dr. Reed go in the house. They have a conversation. They sit down. Fatima's basically like, Jeremiah is alive, and I went to go see him at the hospital because Dr. Reed asked her how she was doing. She's like, I'm fine now that I know that Jeremiah is alive. Then Dr. Reed is like, so are you going to get Zach out of jail? Fatima's like, no, I just want to teach him a lesson and show him that he was wrong. Dr. Reed is basically like, so you want him to suffer? Fatima's like, I guess that's along the lines of the same thing. Dr. Reed's like, how are you doing though? Fatima's like, I don't really want to talk about me. You're Zach's therapist. Fatima, you need to talk to somebody before you go crazy. You can't hold all these emotions that you feel in, and I know that you feel some type of way for leaving Zach in there. Even though you try to hold this harder exterior and try to say that you want to teach him a lesson. I think I finally figured out what it was. Fatima's more hurt at the fact that Zach didn't listen to her after she told him not to do it, more than she's mad at the fact that he defended her honor. The real lesson that she's trying to teach her, see what happens when you don't listen to me? As Dr. Reed is getting ready to leave, he hugs Fatima bye, and the door's open so Connie can see this hug. So Fatima closes the door because she sees Connie looking at her. Fatima walks down to the car and she tells Connie, it looks like your car's working fine to me. Connie's like, yeah, I'm just letting it warm up. So Connie's like, who's that man again? Fatima's like, I told you that was Zach's therapist. Connie's like, yeah, okay. Fatima's like, you can go now. Good night. Connie's like, good night, and she drives off, right? Connie is probably thinking the absolute worst about Fatima, but it's not even. Over at Angela's, Bryce comes to talk to her about the whole Zach thing, and Bryce is like, I just feel so bad. Bryce is like, if he wasn't so stressed about the money thing, it wouldn't happen. Angela's like, yeah, nothing to do with it, and it's not your fault. I understand that you have empathy for people and you want everybody to be alright, but sometimes you need to stop being so sensitive. Bryce is like, you're always so nice to me, and I can always count on you, and it looked like he was about to flirt with her or try to kiss her, but Angela put a quick stop to that, though. But once Bryce left, It looks like she was thinking about what was about to happen. Back over at Zach and Fatima's, Preston finally made it to Zach's house, and Zach is on the phone, and he's trying to talk to Fatima. Preston's like, I just got here, let me knock on the door. So Preston goes to knock on the door, and Fatima's like, who is it? Preston's like, it's me. Fatima's like, you know that Zach is not here. Preston is like, Fatima, can I just talk to you for a second? It's like, Zach is on the phone and he wants to talk to you. Fatima's like, I don't want to talk to him and I ain't got time for this. He tells Preston to put him on speaker, so Preston puts him on speaker, and Zach is like, so you just calling me out here? You know Deja listening. Fatima takes the phone and she reluctantly answers it, and she's like, Zach, what do you want? Zach is like, I just want to tell you I'm sorry and I didn't mean to do this. Fatima's like, you said that already. Zach is like, nah, I'm truly sorry. Then Fatima's like, well, you should listen to me. Zach is like, I know I should have listened to you. Fatima started asking Zach all these hypothetical questions to probe his brain to see where his mind is, because she already knows that Jeremiah's alive, and this will determine if she gets him out or not. Basically asked him, what would you do the next time I tell you to do something? He's like, I'll listen. Then she's like, will you ever do this again? I know how to answer that. And she's like, of course you would, because you didn't even say no, Zach. Zach says something, and he's like, so you basically just gonna leave me in here? Fatima's like, I'm moving on with my life. Over in the hood, Connie called Nate and Tony down there so that she could tell him what's going on with Jeremiah, and she tells him that she's confused and she doesn't know why Zach is locked up. They're like, what you mean he killed Jeremiah? Connie's like, no, I was at the hospital with Fatima and we went and seen him and he's very much alive. They're like, so you're telling me that Zach is in jail because he killed Jeremiah, but Jeremiah's alive and Fatima's leaving him in there? Connie's like, pretty much, she basically said that she wanted to keep him in there another night to teach him a lesson. Nate is like, he's a grown behind man, he don't need to be taught a lesson. And any more moments that he stays in jail, he's gonna go crazy. He's like, nah, man, I'm gonna get him out. And Tony's like, well, we should actually do what Fatima says and let him stay in there. Nate is like, what you mean? That's our boy, we should go get him. Tony's like, hey, it's Fatima's world and whatever she wants to do, I'm gonna do it. And then Nate is like, so how you feel, Connie? Connie's like, the same thing, it's whatever Fatima wants. Nate has his mindset on getting Zach out of prison, so he's gonna call his police connections and see what he can do. I don't know how he has police connections without getting locked up for his warrants, but he's gonna try to get Zach out of jail. He has the audacity to call Connie everything but her name. Then he has the audacity to also tell her F you and F Tony. As he's walking away, right, it's just Connie and Tony talking. And they're like, at least Zach will be a free man by tomorrow. Don't worry about it. We're just gonna do what Fatima says. Connie asked Tony about Dr. Reed, and Tony was like, oh yeah, I remember him. We cracked jokes about him. That's Zach's therapist. Connie's like, so he's cool with Fatima too? Tony's like, I guess, but let's get out of here. That's none of our business. Connie was like, I was just asking. Tony was like, you never just asked anything. You were asking for a reason. Connie was like, I wasn't. But then Tony has a vulnerable moment with her. He's like, Connie, are you okay? Connie's like, yeah, I'm okay. Why you ask that? Tony's like, no reason. He really thinks that Connie's sick, and I honestly think that Tony and Connie got something going on in the low, but we'll find out sooner than later. Over at the precinct, there's this officer trying to get Zach's attention named Officer Swank, and Zach is like, what you want? Just leave me alone. I'm just sitting in my cell, bro. What do you want? The officer's like, do you know Deja, the girl that lives next door to you? Zach is like, why does that even matter to you? The officer's like, I was at her party a while ago and she wanted me to pass this message to you. Zach is like, I don't want no messages from Deja. The officer's like, you might want to see it. It's about your girl. Zach is like, I don't want to hear nothing about my girl. He's like, you sure? The officer's like, you might want to see this. So he shows him a picture of Fatima hugging Dr. Reed, trying to make it seem like she was cheating, but she not. I swear, people keep taking pictures of them, and it's going to be detrimental to their relationship, because a picture speaks 1,000 words, but it also speaks untruth. Let me know what you guys think about the episode. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn your bell notifications. Bye!